All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the one and only Wrestling Otaku channel. Of course, your personification of excellence on YouTube, YWC, and we're the best reviews wrestling. And I'm back here. It is now officially Saturday night, Saturday, October 19th, 2024. Just got through watching Collision and Battle of the Belts 12. So a pretty solid show. Those are some solid shows. I only got the chance to see half. I missed the first hour of Collision because I just got home from work. I was working up until 9, and I missed the first hour or so. So I have to go back and I got the results. I might go back later and watch what happened earlier. But anyway, so solid shows there. But anyway, so here with this video, now that I'm kind of settled in, I kind of relaxed. I want to go ahead and do this video because I want to talk about something that I've been noticing that has been really kind of the talk of the town lately in the wrestling community, and you could say also in another community, that being in kind of the political spectrum with everything that's going on right now, and really kind of a trendy topic specifically on X, and I'm sure it's being mentioned on other sites as well, TikTok, YouTube, and I see this kind of spreading, especially within the last day or so. I've been kind of monitoring, and I've been kind of noticing this develop, if you will, and I want to kind of give my thoughts on it. So I guess you could say, in a ways, this is wrestling related because of the individuals involved. So you all know we're very close to election day. The elections, general elections. Of course, this is an election year. Presidential elections here for the United States is literally within a couple weeks. I believe election day is the first week in November. I forget if it's the 3rd or the 13th. I don't remember when exactly election day is, but I'm pretty sure it's the first or second week in November. But it's very close. We're almost at the end of October already. We only got 12 days left here in October, and then we're getting into November. So obviously you got your campaigns, you got your two candidates, and you guys should already know what I think of this. Well, I actually did a video on my group channel, Fortune 4 Shooters, about close to a week ago, talking about this election, talking about just my stance in regards to the election. If you guys want to check out that video, you're more than welcome to if you guys subscribe to that channel. If you haven't, be sure to check out that video. Be sure to subscribe to our Fortune 4 Shooters channel. We're very close to hitting 400 subs over there. But I talked about it, and you guys should know what my thoughts are in regards to this election already. So I probably won't go. I might mention it here for reference, but I won't get too much into it because I've already basically spoken on it. You should already know what I think. And again, we got all these campaigns, and you got both parties jockeying for position. You see all these campaign ads, not just for the presidential election, but for also other elections. There's here in Maryland, there's an election going for one of the senators. There's a Senate seat here in Maryland that is up for grabs between Larry Hogan, Republican Larry Hogan, and Democrat Angela Alsobrooks. I won't get into that. I'm just mentioning it again for reference. But anyway, so we got all these election stuff and campaigns. You got ads and commercials, all that kind of stuff. But it seems like things have really picked up in regards to certain individuals in the realm of professional wrestling as well, when it comes to their ideals and their, I guess, ideologies, political, affiliations, ideology, whatever have you. So one thing that I did not expect is that I did not expect a back and forth between two individuals, that being Mark Calloway, more famously known as The Undertaker, and also, of course, former WWE talent, former WWE champion, and movie star, that being Dave Batista. So it seems like in recent days, Undertaker and Batista have seemingly taken to social media to, in essence, express their views or express their support for their respective candidates, for either side of the two candidates going into this presidential election. And they have seemingly taken to taking jabs at each other in regards to their political affiliation. And this is something that I personally, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, dude, we're really seeing this right now. We're really in a day and an age where we've got two guys who made their name in professional wrestling, and, they're known, for the most part outside of, well, more so one than the other. Undertaker, obviously, longtime WWE pro wrestler, made his name, 30-plus years in the business, 30-plus years as WWE's, basically a WWE lifer, you could say. And he's, expressed his opinions and views. He's done things outside of wrestling. He's got his own kind of show. He's got a podcast and this, that, and the third. And then, of course, Dave Batista got to start pro wrestling, and then he's made even more of a name for himself outside of pro wrestling with all the movies he's had. He's been a part of the MCU, all these DC Marvel movies. He's been a part of, Guardians of the Galaxy and all these other films, all this, Dave Batista's made a name for himself in Hollywood. So you could say he's, in a sense, transcended, professional wrestling, and then he's made a name for himself. He's become pretty much a star in Hollywood and in other places as well. He's in TV shows and all kinds of stuff. He's basically taken the Rock route. Rock, Cena, and all these other talents who kind of, when their wrestling career kind of, when they, I guess, get to a certain level of pro wrestling, they decide to explore other avenues in entertainment, that mainly being movies and TV shows in Hollywood, stuff like that. So, but the fact that these two guys are now basically taking to social media to express their support for, their candidates. And right now it's Mark Calloway, that being the Undertaker, in support of Donald Trump, and Dave Batista recently expressing his support for Kamala Harris, the current vice president, now running for active president. And so you got Undertaker for Donald Trump, and you got Batista for Kamala Harris. And basically what's happened is, in the last, like I said, day, 2 days, 3 days, however long it's been, there was rumors floating around that Undertaker and also the individual formerly known as Kane, of course, in WWE, who was Undertaker's longtime tag team partner. Obviously, his real name is Glenn Jacobs, and he's been in the political spectrum for a long time as well. He was actually a legit mayor in Tennessee, in Knox County, I believe, and he's made his opinions known, obviously, in the past when it comes to politics. He has also shown his support for Donald Trump as well. And so what happened was Undertaker and Kane, I'll just use their WWE names because why not? Because I'm so familiar with them in pro wrestling. Undertaker and Kane basically joined together with Donald Trump in a promotional video that aired, I believe, on TikTok. I think it was TikTok, and then it's like shown. It was shared all over X. It's all over X. I think, I believe it's shared on YouTube as well, and it's all over the place. And and everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about Undertaker and Kane, or Mark Calloway and Glenn Jacobs in support of Donald Trump here. And then a few days ago, we saw Dave Batista make a series of videos on his own channel, on his own accounts on X. I believe he shared it on TikTok as well, and basically expressing how much he basically dislikes Donald Trump and showing his support for Kamala Harris. He's got like shirts basically saying, in support of, women's reproductive rights and all that kind of, because that's a big issue going into the election and stuff like that. And so what ended up happening is within the last 24 hours, we basically seen Undertaker taking shots at Dave Batista. And now apparently Dave Batista is taking shots back at The Undertaker. And it's like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh my fucking God, are these guys serious? They are seriously taking jabs at each other. They're not even in pro wrestling anymore. Or they're not in pro wrestling right now. I mean, Undertaker's, like, he doesn't really wrestle anymore. Like, he makes appearances. Not like wrestling, but he's made appearances. But like, it's kind of those once a year, maybe twice a year types of things. And then Dave Batista, he hasn't been in wrestling in God knows how long, and he's mostly, again, doing movies and stuff. But these two guys, who used to be big-time, big-name pro wrestlers, are now in the political spectrum, and they're basically taking jabs at each other. And I'm like, this is the damnedest thing I've ever seen. It's like, they are literally rekindling. The thing that popped into my head when I saw this, they are literally rekindling their feud from way back when in 2007. If anybody remembers, these two guys had a feud in WWE, in pro wrestling, going into WrestleMania 23 that year. If you guys remember, these two guys wrestled a match at WrestleMania 23 for the World's Heavyweight title at the time. Dave Batista was the champion. Undertaker was the challenger. I think Undertaker won the Royal Rumble that year. That's how he got the title shot. And I remember that feud like it was fucking yesterday, man, because I was big, of course, on Ruthless Aggression era WWE. I was, at the time I was, let's say 2007, I was like 17, 18 at that year. That was the year I graduated, 2007. So WrestleMania 23, I remember that shit. I remember that feud like it was yesterday. And going into it, was a huge Undertaker fan. I like Batista too. I like Batista, his reign as world champion. But going into that WrestleMania, I wanted to see Undertaker win. Like, I really wanted to see him. Because at that point, Undertaker had not held a world's title since, like, 2002 prior. So that's, like, 5 years he went without becoming a world champion or being a world champion at that point. So I was like, I like Dave Batista, but I wanted to see Undertaker win badly. And plus, it was WrestleMania. Undertaker had the streak going at the time, so I was like, yeah, Undertaker needs to win. And sure enough, he did win. Undertaker won that match, became the world champion at WrestleMania 23, and I could not be happier. 17, 18-year-old me could not be happier. So, and then, afterwards, both guys kind of went their own way, if you will, and so, yeah, the rest is history. But I bring that up because I remember when these two guys feuded over the world's title going into WrestleMania that year, and it was like, it was just so, like, it's like that saying, what goes around comes around. It's like it seems like it comes full circle. These two guys were feuding for that year, or half a year, however long it was, in WWE, and they had, matches and so on and so forth in the past. And now here they are years later after the time of pro wrestling, and they're literally feuding again, this time on social media in terms of their political ideologies. It's like, oh my God, they're feuding. They're literally trying to rekindle their feud from 2007. Only this time not in the ring, on social media and in politics. It's like, it's the craziest thing ever. Like, I'm like, oh my God, are these guys serious? Oh my God, dude. Like, it is crazy that years later, after all these years, Undertaker and Batista are still going at it. And it's not even kayfabe. Like, this is not even a storyline. This is not pro wrestling. This is not kayfabe. This is legit. Like, this is like stuff that's going on in the real world right now. Politics, political spectrum. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm looking at this. I'm like, I can't help but laugh at that. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And so, yeah, man. So obviously, you got other people who see this, and everybody's chiming in. Everybody's giving their 2 cents. And you got people taking sides. You got people taking jabs at Undertaker for his, for aligning with Donald Trump. And you got people taking jabs at Batista for his political views and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I like both these guys. Like, obviously, if you guys don't know, Undertaker's my favorite wrestler of all time. He probably always will be my favorite wrestler of all time. I was very disappointed when they broke the streak at WrestleMania. What was it? 30? Was it WrestleMania 30? I might be off there. It was. I think it was WrestleMania 30. I forget the fucking years. I'm pretty sure it was WrestleMania 30 where they broke the streak. They had him lose that match to Lesnar, and then 2 years later, at WrestleMania 32, they had him lose again at WrestleMania, the fucking Roman Reigns. I was fucking pissed. Like, I did not want to see Undertaker. Undertaker, the streak should have never been fucking broken. I even still believe that to this day. The streak should have never been broken. Undertaker's streak should have never fucking been broken. That's just my opinion. And I've always been an Undertaker fan. I probably always will be. Now, what he does in his real life, as of course, Mark Calloway, his political ideologies, what he does in his personal life, that is his business, but I'm still always going to be a fan of The Undertaker at heart, as the pro wrestler. I'm always going to be a fan of him and what he did in the ring, what he contributed in the ring and his work in the ring. That's why I'm a fan of. Same thing with Batista. Like, I was a fan of Batista. Like, I like Batista. Like, wasn't my favorite all-time wrestler. Like, he was definitely up there. He was like top 10, during his time. He was good. Yeah, I believe he was good, for what he did. And then afterwards, him making a name in Hollywood, him making a name in movies, and like I said, Marvel and DC and all that kind of stuff. And it was great stuff. He's a legend in his own right. So I'm not going to, like, for me personally, everybody else, they can take their sides and this, that, and the third. And it's like, they believe what they want. They have the right to believe what they want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of sitting here as somebody who basically likes them both. I'm sitting here kind of on the side, and I'm just going to watch, and I'm just going to basically enjoy it for what it is, pretty much. I'm not going to take sides. I'm not going to take jabs at anybody and this, that, and the third. Now, in regards to the people that they represent or the people that they're supporting, you guys should already know my feelings about Donald Trump. I think he's personally, a piece of garbage. I think he's scummy. I think he's an egomaniac. I don't understand how the hell somebody like this can even be running for president, considering all the shit that he's basically been, convicted for. He's on trial. He's, got a bunch of trials on him or something like that. He's got like felony counts on him. I don't understand how he's running for president. And it is what it is on that. You guys should know at this point what I think of, Donald Trump. And in regards to Kamala Harris, it's like I'm not really high on her either. Like, I don't have a problem. I don't have an issue per se with Kamala Harris. It's just nothing about her really gravitates to me personally. to make me think that, oh, this is going to be like a good candidate for the presidency of the United States. That's just where I'm coming from. I don't have a problem with her personally, but that's just where I'm coming from. And so me personally, I would have chose better candidates than these two. If Larry Hogan, who's running for the Senate right now, if Larry Hogan ran for president, I'll be inclined to possibly consider him. He could have my vote. If Martin O'Malley, who ran for office a couple years ago, I think it was the year that Donald Trump ran. Was it the year Donald Trump? Yeah, the year that Donald Trump won back in 2016. If Martin O'Malley ran for president again on the Democratic side, he would have my vote. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's a little biased because these two guys are former Maryland governors, so maybe that's a little biased on my part. But yeah, so that's just where I stand. But in regards to Undertaker and Batista and their kind of little back and forth, verbal joust on social media, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it for what it is. I'm not going to take shots at anybody. I'm not going to take sides. I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is, because this is something I certainly did not expect to see in the year 2024. I did not expect to see this. It's great. It's great, dude. And these two guys are fucking, oh my God. And Batista in particular. Batista is a legend, dude. Like, just based on like his videos that I saw of him training, and then he's like taking these jabs at Trump. It's like, oh my God, dude. It's like, wow, man. I can't believe this is happening right now. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I got to say for that. So as for, we'll see what happens come election day. And as for, Mark Calloway, Undertaker, and, Dave Batista, I don't know. We'll see where they go from here. Maybe they'll meet up and have a debate. I don't know. I seriously doubt these two guys at their age are gonna wrestle anytime soon. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I gotta say for that. So that was just my little video reacting to this. I just feel like I had to talk about it because I've been seeing it so much in the last day, 2 days. I just had to say something and talk about it a little bit, give my thoughts on it, give my 2 cents. But that's pretty much all I gotta say for that. So thank you for watching this video here. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, give me your thoughts on anything I touched on here, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support you get. With that being said, it's pretty much going to do it, man. So thank you for watching again. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, have a good rest of your night, have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, I'm Rusty Otaku, and I'm out. Have a good one. Peace.